Hello, everyone. Rick Albert here, real estate broker in the Los Angeles area, and we're doing our second episode of reaching out to the community, talking to different local businesses, see what's going on. So I have here Lavi of North Valley Aikikai. Sorry, Aikikai. Thank you so much. Dang it, I tried. I apologize. So thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it, and hopefully we can get some good stuff out of it. So why don't we go ahead and get started? And how did the dojo kind of form and get started?
So after about 6 very intense years of training as an apprentice of a Japanese master, sounds a little bit like a movie, but
Right.
it was for real, which was in Berkeley, Northern California.
Yeah, I grew up in the Bay Area.
Yeah. And after 6 years of apprenticeship, I graduated, and it was time to start my own dojo. But before then, I got married and had a child, and that was in around 2002. And I thought it will be quick, but I waited until my daughter was 3 years old, and everyone were ready to start this new adventure. And so we opened a small dojo in an industrial area in the Panorama City area to start.
Okay.
And that was 2005.
Wow.
Yes.
Very nice. And how did you come up with the name for the dojo?
So Aikikai is the headquarters organization in Aikido. Okay. It's in Tokyo. And usually dojos who are affiliated with Aikikai, which is the main organization, are also called Aikikai, which means a place of where, in the more easy meaning, it means an organization where you do Aikido. North Valley, we are basically kind of on the north side of the valley, so that's why I chose it. Los Angeles Aikikai was taken, and other names like that were taken already. So so yeah, that's how the name came about. You know, if you're in Boston, you may see Boston Aikikai, or if you're in San Francisco, you may see San Francisco Aikikai. So it's a common name, but it has a deeper meaning. Aikido means the kind of the way of harmonizing with energy. And so, or a community of harmony. So that's what Aikikai in a kind of a deeper meaning means.
Nice. And are you all related, like all part of the same organization, and you just like different chapters, so to speak? Or is it everyone's individual and you just have licensing to use the name?
So everyone who is, the name is Aikikai is usually affiliated with the main headquarters dojo in Tokyo. But each, from Tokyo came out many masters and some of them came to the United States. One landed in New York 50 years ago, and another one in Boston area, and another one in the Southern California area. And my teacher came to Berkeley around 31 years ago. 31 years ago. So we are under the master has like a group of dojos, and then all of us are under Aikikai in Tokyo.
Okay. Now, I know oftentimes martial arts there's always like the physical contact aspect, but then there's also almost like a spiritual or mental aspect. Can you kind of touch on that?
Aikido is this is true to almost every martial art, but I think Aikido philosophy is a little bit unique in that regards, because it really is, and that's why I got kind of a bad rap, because we are always looking for harmony rather than clashing.
Okay.
So the whole idea behind it is that it's kind of a non-resistant. So when a force comes your way, rather than trying to stop it, you move out of the way, you let it pass. Maybe if you're really good in Aikido, you can manipulate, whether it's joint manipulation or movement manipulation, and then you use that against the attack. So you can redirect, you can, like in a way, disappear by evading. And that's how Aikido works. Aikido techniques work. They work on a force that is usually in movement, and that the attacker, due to that, with good timing, can be destabilized.
So it almost sounds like going that route. If you're a smaller person going up against a bigger person, by going with it, it'd be easier to
That's
take
correct.
them down versus trying to do the opposite.
That's correct. And I will just turn that now to just life. A lot of my students are telling me that this works at the workplace when someone is like bullying you, or when even in a home or a kitchen argument between, a spouse, with the spouse. You just basically learn to go with what they say. You are expanding on your ability to listen better, and to really be able to be the both sides at once, rather than just hold on to your side and be right.
Interesting. So it's almost like a way to learn to be humble at the same time.
Learn to be humble, learn to listen, and definitely learn to resolve situations rather than, have them explode.
Got it. And I saw on your Instagram, they also incorporate yoga as well. So how does that kind of tie into everything that you're doing?
So in the beginning, I wanted to, my vision was to have a dojo that we are able to offer it to the whole family. And not everyone is into martial arts.
Sure.
Or into a more strenuous practice. So we offered yoga as well. Yoga is very complementary to Aikido because of its meditative nature, and also self-developmental type study. So a lot of inward learning, inward looking into yourself, and learning about yourself, and learning how to improve yourself. And it's also a lot about balancing. Again, not just balancing a pose, but just balancing in life. So they're very complementary practices. So I decided to incorporate it with the rest of our martial arts practice.
So you brought up just kind of like a life balance, which is
Yes.
really important, especially right now. I feel like
Yes.
there's a lot of people I'm talking to, they're totally off balance in the respect of they're used to working in an office, now they're working at home, now they have kids, now they have all this stuff going on.
Right.
So how are
Right.
you working with your students during this time to kind of help like get back into balance? Because everyone's habits and routines are totally thrown for a loop. I know mine is.
Yes. So first of all, recognizing that balance is not set, it's not an on and off switch. It's kind of an ever-changing condition.
Okay.
That means you need to be willing to work in balancing, rather than I'm in balance now, that's it. Well, one phone call and you can be out of your
Sure.
comfort zone and out of your balance.
One bad call.
So exactly, it only takes one call, or one like looking at something, and especially now where our fuses seem to be shorter or something. So so first is the recognition that like it's okay to be both off and on, in balance, and be willing to work with it. So work in balancing. So right now I offer both Zoom classes And we are also practicing in the park because we are still in closure. There's closure order. The nice background that you see behind me is a picture, but I do go to the dojo to teach our Zoom classes.
Oh, nice.
And then every day we meet at the park. And I also noticed that some of our members just can't bring themselves to the scheduled classes. So I offer a one-on-one via Zoom, or a one-on-one via like video that they send me a video. I give them a task. They need to, video themselves and send it to me, and then I correct them. So it's
Super
this
smart.
one-on-one, as well as I offer the dojo space for a singular practice. That means someone wants to come solo and maybe roll on the mat or do whatever they want. We have, as you can see behind me, there's wooden swords and staffs. So whoever wants to just be in the dojo atmosphere is invited to do that. But only there's a big protocol of cleaning and disinfecting.
Sure.
But we hope that soon we will be able to go back inside again.
For sure. And I think it's a great way to adapt with what's going on right now. So even when it's outdoors, because COVID, or martial arts in general, is a very contact sport, right?
Yes.
In some respects. So how are you navigating through that? Are people wearing gloves? Is it just, I saw online, I saw a lot of sword competitions going on.
Yes. So in a way, the whole essence of how we do Aikido techniques have been taken away from us. So you need to be creative.
For sure.
So we started just standing in the distance and basically doing the movements, and the other person need to match themselves. So it's a movement practice. It looks really weird. It feels even weirder. So we started like that. And then we kind of took our weapons, which are the wooden staffs and the wooden swords, and we again did it from a distance. And then again, we are with masks, and we were way more than 6 feet. So then after a couple months more, we got closer, and with the two staffs, you're well beyond the 6 feet distance. So we started actually contact with weapons. And that really brought back a lot more of the fun training. But still, we cannot just grab each other and throw each other on the mat. So I already came up with some kind of a, once we're at the dojo and we have mats, how to use the staff and do a technique and throw each other. So that's going to be our first feel-alike feeling of a technique. You will grab onto the stick, and the other person is going to do some kind of a manipulation and will throw you, or make even some kind of a wrist lock or something like that with the stick. And you will get to actually feel a technique and take a fall. Again, it's like with this kind of conduit, right? Like with something that is not a human body yet. But we are going to hopefully creep as as we are allowed. We are very much we are very diligent about keeping everyone healthy, and so far,
that's good. Who are the type of students that come in? Is it just kind of all walks of life? Is it generally kids? Is it?
So actually, our adult membership is larger than our children program. For the children program, we have one park class, one class at the park, which is a parent and me kind of class. So you have to be with a parent. And we keep the distancing. There are like stations, and each family's in a different color station, and they work in a distance. We also have Zoom classes for them. So we have from 3 years old to about 15, like 13, 14 years old. And then from older teens to right now our most mature member is 73.
Wow.
So we have all ages. We take pride that we are about 50-50 male-female ratio, which
That's
is
nice.
not common for martial arts.
No, it's not.
Very much not. And and then all walks of life, literally, different, like we are a dream diversity practice space. We have from all races, we have from all like people like immigrants from all kinds of countries,
Sure.
in all ages, more youthful people, more gentle people, and everyone find their, it's kind of made to the student. It's not taught like cookie cutter.
Got it. Like the traditional classroom where everyone has to follow the same rules, whether it works for them or not.
No, it's like, I think that's the beauty of Aikido, that you can really work your level. There's no judgment, there's no competition, and there's no like fighting type thing. You really are coming there to improve yourself. So the less you're competing, the less you are you better be in competition with yourself. Try and be better than you were yesterday rather than your friend,
For sure.
So, yeah, better. It's more beneficial in Aikido to take that route than try and compete.
Hey everyone, so sorry to interrupt the video. Real quick, two things. One, if you like what you're watching or listening to, please give it a like, follow, subscribe, whatever social media platform you're watching it on. Please, I'd love the support. Plus, it allows other people to see the content as well. And two, of course, if you need anything in the real estate world, buying, selling, or investing, feel free to reach out to me. I'm on all the major social media platforms at Rick B. Albert. Thank you so much, and let's continue watching. And is that kind of what makes your dojo unique to other dojos? Because there's dojos all over, especially Los Angeles, right? Because we're such a huge city. Is that what's really your kind of bread and butter for the dojos?
Yeah. So if you're comparing to other martial arts, Aikido is definitely unique. What's unique about us comparing to maybe other Aikido dojos is that they're very strong sense of community. So, like for example, I'll give you one small story.
Go for it. We love stories.
We're working with a couple of nonprofit organizations that sometimes, like a child and family guidance center. So sometimes they will send one of their clients, and we have a scholarship for that.
Oh,
so
amazing.
Sometimes those kids are coming from a family that don't have the means to buy a gi, the uniform. So very quickly, other families are donating a gi for that child. Or when COVID started, one of the members lost their job, and we immediately created a fundraiser and literally collected thousands of dollars from other members that supported that person until they could get their unemployment in place. So those stories it can be small, like from someone giving a jacket to someone who rides a motorcycle, to like bigger stuff. So it's if someone needs to move, boom, bunch of people want to come and help. Someone needs something in the house, doesn't know how to do it. So it's a network, but also like it's an immediate, like people are jumping for help. But we do it with our community. So we were supporting some other nonprofit organization. We are supporting sometime people that are in need, like, singular people that we see, or someone tell us about someone, and we just jump to help.
I think that's amazing for starters. And I think it's always interesting because I talk to a lot of my clients and friends, and they don't know their neighbors, right? Like they don't have that sense of community. So to be able to have that here, I think is really important. And it also keeps people like in Los Angeles, it keeps people like, I don't want to move because I have this community and I just don't want to leave it.
That's correct. And I think I always say it's kind of like a cliche, but like one for all for one.
For sure.
And I think that it makes communities stronger, but it also make people stronger. And it's a great example for future generations.
Mm-hmm.
And especially now when there's this really, we can't ignore that there's a really big divide right now.
Oh, for sure.
It seems that people just don't have what they used to have, like a more patient approach. Like people didn't used to get so riled up because someone has a different political view.
It's so true.
And it used to be so like, oh, all right, you support this, I support that. Maybe you try and persuade me,
Right.
but people wouldn't be so snappy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the situation right now is really pushing people to their edge.
Yeah.
And also with internet, it's very easy to just spew fast. No one sees your face and you're not accountable for what you say. And it creates there's actually a great documentary right now, The Social Dilemma, that is actually talking about how, because we are in a little bit of an echo chamber.
Yeah.
People get less and less patient to stuff that is different to them.
Yeah.
So I think it's time to kind of make a U-turn on that.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
And really try and reach out to people, whether it's your neighbor in your residence or neighbor of your business. And who knows, maybe you can even it's like what you and I are doing now.
Yeah.
You're actually reaching out to people in the community, and we didn't meet before.
Right.
So it's a great idea. First of all, we learn a lot of things about our community, see what's available to us, but also just learn about who are the people who are in my community, who am I sharing the space with, in a way. So I think it's wonderful.
Yeah.
So kudos to you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. We all, especially I think in LA, and I love Los Angeles. I've been here for 10 years, but it really does feel like we're in our own little bubbles, for sure. And, not going into politics, but it's just like, we are in our own bubble politically as well. People are like, oh, the economy's doing well, or it's not doing well. It's like, everyone has different perspectives, because you go to the Midwest, totally different story than it is here in LA. Sure. So it's nice to be able to just take a step back and be like, okay, there is other stuff going on. Let's find out what's going on. Let's talk to different people.
Right. And I think it's, I always said that if you think that someone is really different than you, or you have something uncomfortable about another person, go talk to them.
Yeah.
Because that may reveal that more is common than not.
For sure.
Because I think it's a way of alleviating a sense of being secluded or excluded or different, and it feels much nicer to know that there are really great people around. Yeah. And how will you know if you're not going to reach out to them? If you won't know what they're about, what are they doing? How do they live their lives? not necessarily their political or other tendencies. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Those things are the less important ones.
I agree, especially right now where people are cooped up at home.
Yes.
Yeah. All the people that are normally antisocial, they're probably loving this, right? They're like, I don't have to talk to anyone. I wanted people 6 feet apart from me anyways. This doesn't change. This is my dream. For other people, we need that interaction.
Sure.
Yeah, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for having this talk. Was there anything else you wanted to go over? I mean, how can people find you if they wanted to sign up, take a class?
Okay. So people can search us North Valley Aikikai or
Okay.
North Valley Aikido, which
Okay.
is AIKIDO. That's the name of the martial art. And we are pretty high up there on Google. So we have great reviews on Yelp and on Google. And we are basically, the physical location is on Reseda and Nordhoff.
Okay.
And the best way to reach out is either call, send an email, or a text. And it's 818-652-5025. And we are taking new members, and both all the way from kids all the way to adults. And it's a really fun and connecting activity to do. And we're doing it completely safely right now. We are very diligent. And we look forward to meeting new people and having them try out our class.
For sure. And I'll make sure to have all your information in like the show notes so people can just click the link and go straight to you guys. So thank you so much, Lee, for being on here. This has been so much fun. We'll stay in touch. Love to keep in touch, see what's going on, see how things progress. And if you need anything from me, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Will do. Thank you so much, Rick. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.